Hello, my name is Kelly Bluen. I am a certified Zentangle teacher. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Zen. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a cute little winter mitten using two tangles that were created by Zentangle. The first tangle is called Noom Repus, which is super moon backwards, and the second one is Hibred. So we're doing a mitten because I live in Michigan, which is a state in the United States of America, and we are in the middle of a blizzard, and tomorrow is Christmas Eve. So we are kind of stuck inside our homes for a couple of days while the wind blows, the temperatures are very, very cold, high winds, drifting snow. So it's a good time to draw a little mitten. Okay. If you do not live in a cold area and you don't want to do a mitten, then go ahead and pick another shape to fill in with these two tangles. Okay, I'm using a Micron PN plastic nib pen. I also have an 03 tonight, just because some of the detail work I'd like to do a little bit thinner. I'm using a Zentangle brand graphite pencil for drawing and shading, and a blending tool called a tortillion. I also have a little 2" by 2" tile called the Bijou tile. These are available at zentangle.com. Okay, feel free to use whatever you have on hand. I also have a little chunk of eraser in case I need that. All right, so we're going to start by drawing our mitten. And to make the mitten, I'm going to put a rectangle down at the bottom and kind of curve the edges. So I'm not going to go all the way across. I'm going to leave some space. And I'm making this about the width of my pencil. Just like that. Now I want my mitten to take up most of this space here. So I'm going to kind of imagine this oval shape. So it's going to come up this way and curve, and come down this way and curve. And then I'm going to add a thumb over here. So I'm probably going to bring this in a little bit, make it a little bit wider since I have the room. So play around with that shape until you get it just like you want it. And then you can erase some of the pieces you don't want. When I've got it just right, I'm going to pick up my thicker pen, my PN, and I'm going to trace this shape. All the way around. Like that. Okay, so for Noom Repus, it's a beautiful tangle, but it takes a few minutes to kind of get the flow. So if you would like to start in pencil, go right ahead. I'll do my first one in pencil just so you can follow along and erase it if it's not feeling quite right. Okay, so Noom Repus is the letter S laying down. So I'm going to start up here towards the top, and I'm going to go down and up and over. So it's just the letter S, but laying down. And then I'm going to start right in the center of that part of the S, and I'm going to go down, up, and over and make another S. I'm kind of imagining this line across here. I want to keep these pretty even if I can. Start in the middle, down, up, and over. And because I have my pencil, I'm going to go ahead and just carry it right off the mitten. I don't want to do that part in pen, but I just want to show you how that's going to look. Okay, now we need to connect these bumps that are up on top. So from the center of one bump to the other, you'll put these little hills in. Over here, I don't have one to go to, so I'm just going to imagine it going off the side. And from this bump to this one, to that one, and going off the side. So the last part of this is this little backwards S shape that kind of looks like that. And it's going to go and connect these two pieces here. So I'm going to go like that. This little backwards S. And what that does is give this illusion of these pieces kind of being intertwined or woven together. I chose this pattern because I think of a mitten as being a woven or intertwined knit sort of a mitten. Does that make sense? Like you would knit something with yarn. So that's the look I was going for with Noom Repus. Okay, I'm going to trace that in pen, and I'm going to start with my S shapes. I'm going to erase this pencil on the outside so that I don't follow it with pen. After those S's, I'm going to connect the bumps and imagine where they would go off the edge. Connect the bumps on the bottom. And finish off those edges. Now I tuck in this little backwards S shape. Right in there. So cute. And this one would actually be a piece coming out there. Okay, so I want to do at least 2 or 3 more of these. The tricky thing is spacing them just right, so I'm not going to worry about it. I can fill some stuff in later. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to do an S again. So curve and curve. Start in the middle. I'm going to draw myself a little line here, just so I stay a little more straight than I probably would. So get those little S's made, connect the bumps. And those ones on the end, imagine them going off the edge. And the last thing is putting in that backwards S shape. Okay, I'm going to do it again. Do my pencil line before I forget. Can make these large or small. Connect the bumps. And then add in those little curves. Some of these end up a little funny, that's okay. Just put a little line in there, try to make it work. All right, I've got room for one more. So I'm going to do that right here. The S shapes, connecting those bumps. And that backwards S, giving it that woven look. Okay, so I've got a lot of space between these. One thing I could do is I could aura and just add some lines, but I'm actually going to put in some straight lines down. As if maybe these mittens were stitched two different ways. So I'm going a little fast just because I really want to keep these videos as close to 15 minutes as I can, but feel free to stop the video and take your time making these little lines. Each line should be done carefully. Loosen your grip on the pen, let the pen do the work for you. There we go. They're so cute. All right, and then for the bottom, to do hybrid, we make a zigzag line, just however it fits on your mitten. And then inside this triangle here, I'm going to make an auraed line go up the side. And then I'm going to do the other side of the triangle, but I'm going to start where that one ended. And then I'm going to go up this side and down that side, and up and down. I love making this tangle. So we're just alternating sides like that. Now for this large middle one, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to do it kind of upside down. So I'm going to aura this line here, and then I'm going to go to this side, and then back and forth. So over here, I'm going to do one this way and that way. And in this spot over here, I'm going to do this line. And I'm going to imagine one coming out here and kind of ending about there. And then another one this way, and then one that way. Before I shade it, I'm going to add a couple little enhancements. So I'm going to do some little wiggly lines as if these mittens are starting to fray a little bit. And I'm going to add some little dots of snow coming down and around this mitten. Right, I'm going to pick up my pencil, and to shade this area here, I'm going to go on the inside of the entire mitten and put a little graphite. So down here, and all along that inside. Pointing my pencil towards the end of the line whenever I can, just so that graphite gets nice and snug up against the line. I'm going to take my blending tool and I can soften that and push it out towards the middle of the mitten. And I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. Put some graphite all along that inside edge and soften it towards the middle. So pretty. So inside the mitten, normally when you make Noom Repus, it's really fun to put a little bit of graphite on each of these S shapes and make it look like those are really weaving in and out of each other. But if you don't have a lot of room to do that, then you can do this, which is just tracing the outside of each of those. Just a little bit of graphite. And then we can soften those. And what I like about that is it makes that back stitching look very subtle. And then it makes these kind of pop out as if that's the pattern we want to see on our mitten. So again, if you want to put a little bit of graphite in each of these, you can. But I don't know that you need it. Last thing I would do is just take my tortillion and put a little bit of a graphite edge all along the outside. Write your initials on the front. On the back, add the date and a little journal entry about what's going on. So mine is going to have the date of December 23rd, and I'm going to put a little journal entry about the blizzard. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had a great time, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.